Hi guys, I'm just going over Ryan's runs and showing you the tool I use, and maybe um, Ryan can get something out of this. Uh, Going this pretty much blind, haven't really looked at the data, just made sure everything was set up and I could flow through this video. I'm going to once I start doing the analysis, I'm going to set the timer and see how long I can do this and try to be concise. But first, I want to go over the tool. Um, this is basically Google Maps with a GPS trace of the driving line. The cursor is red right there. Um, and all the cursors, so that cursor which is red, this cursor which is magenta, the red dot right here, and the yellow line here are all synced up, and also what you're seeing on the video is all synced up. So that's all the same. Now looking at colors wise, this is a GG scatter plot or traction circle, your classic, the dot going around the circle. The different colors is basically red is when you're off the gas, and then as you add gas it gets a cooler color, so it goes yellow, green, and then when you're full gas it goes blue. The colors here is if you're not on gas and not on the brake, it's black, so that's basically coasting areas. The magenta is full gas. The different colors of green, so like white to dark green, is different amounts of gas, and once you get to full throttle, then it goes to magenta. And then the rainbow colors here is as it gets hotter colors, so it starts in blue and goes to red. That's braking amount. I don't know if you can actually read this on the video, but each MoTeC slices the track into straights and corners, and makes sections in each one. And then each section has an average speed. This is just the average of the speed of each section, basically. So then over here, the all-important speed is yellow, RPM is purple. The RPM is basically divided by 100, so for example 7,000 RPM would be 70. I use kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour because I like whole numbers. And so I don't remember what the conversion is. It's roughly 3 kilometers per 1 miles per hour. So that's that. Steering angle, I use radians. I could shift this over to degrees, but that's basically steering input. Green is throttle, red is brake. The magenta is longitudinal acceleration. That's cyan or cayenne, or the light blue is lateral acceleration. This is the synced video. That magenta number is my heart rate. Basically, one of the things with the camera system is it could record heart rate, so I was like, well, let's do that just because it doesn't cost me much money, and also I'm kind of looking at heat stroke or dehydration and all that, and see how it affects my heart rate. So that's the tool. Let's see here. This is the all-important speed trace, but I'm just going to foreshadow something for you. That's the whole run. This last part, slowing down, is after the actual end. I wanted to, in the video portion, I wanted to be able to see the timing sign, so I increased the actual track so I could see it. But that's just his first run, and That's all of his runs, all 5 of them. And so what we're looking here, and this is just foreshadowing, is basically, I call this the spaghetti areas. So where all this variation in speed is where optimization can happen. So let's put this into context. I'll put the track up. So this big area of spaghetti is along the concrete slalom area. Okay. This variance in speed is the end portion, right? Where you get almost to the end. Okay. There's a little bit of variance in speed in going through the first chicane, and then this slowing down for the Z chicane. A little bit of variance, and then there's a little bit of variance going in the first turn and going up the hill. So just looking at this again, this is foreshadowing. Optimizing this turn in and going up that hill, it's a simple maneuver element, so that could be a little hanging fruit to fix. I know Ryan was doing some shifting into third, so we possibly will in the future look at did shifting into third actually help him, and how much. Was it actually a speed increase? I mean, it looks like it was a speed increase, but I don't know right now. That's something to look into. That's that. So let's get the overlays. And so first things first, let's go to the beginning and actually just watch the video. So this is a speed trace. I'm going to start right there. So this is actual, we're going to start the actual analysis at this point. Okay, so first thing I'm seeing, okay, so going up the hill right here, gets really close to that first cone, but look at his arms. They get all crossed up, and then this is just the first thing I'm seeing is he's way off that cone and way off that cone. And let's shift this over. So off, relatively on. Okay, so that's the first thing, just looking at this video, is Ryan, you need to get on those cones. You can't go around that big of a bend and not be on the cones. But okay, so then let's see here. Let's just look at his entry to the chicanes. It's okay, it's okay. 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 Doing well. Let's shift this over a little more. Okay. And I gotta give Ryan the benefit of the doubt. This is the first time he's driven the car, and also I think the first time he's ever driven an ND, so he doesn't know it. So, but yeah, well, this looks fine. Nice on that one. And let's just look at the end here. Yeah, nice on that one. He gets really, I mean, he's way setting up for this end. Look at how close he is. He's either on that concrete or very, very close to it for this, setting up this. I think that's from experience of DCTC. Okay, so that's good. So we're going to look at, we're doing the in-between quick analysis and looking at basically throttle and brake and all that kind of stuff. So starts up, shifts into second right there. Doing all right, not, still tentative here. What is going on right here? So let me see here. Okay. Okay, one other thing I don't think I told you about. See how this portion is highlighted in white, and then this portion doesn't have the highlight? The portion you have it highlighted in white is what you're seeing in this window. Okay, so I just want to see what's going on, the turn where the asphalt patches and going up the hill. And what I'm seeing, so you see this right here, this blue, that's that brake. So he's braking, going up the hill, and then braking again. So, so let's do a quick analysis of braking points and how he's using the brake. So let's do this. Okay, we're just looking at that. Okay, looking over here, so that's lateral G, that's braking, that's the braking portion. I don't think he needed a brake there. I think, again, this is his first run, first time in the car. I think he could set this up and either just coast through that, but I think that's tentative, and so let's go on from there. So that's a part where I'd say, hey Brian, you might not need to do that. Okay, so let's look at this braking and corner entry. I really like this portion of the track for learning trail braking and corner entry. And so here's his braking, here's his steering input, there's his gas. Okay, so let's look at, here's his braking going down, and then he's starting to steer. So let's put the magenta, and then it goes over to the lateral. He's going around the corner. Now, if you follow the magenta cursor, brake, feeding in some steering, so lateral G, and then over. Now, using a GG plot, what's really good is after this is a little more education, so not part of the analysis, but street driving, it's basically looks like a T. You're either braking or you're steering. As a novice would be like doing that T thing. Then as you get better, you start looking more like a diamond, which is kind of like what this is looking like. It goes brake and then it goes a straight line to lateral. As you get more proficient. It starts looking more like a strawberry, which is actually, this kind of looks like a strawberry profile, where he's adding some lateral at the braking and then feeding, easing up on the brake and going into lateral. You can make this start look like an apple, where you go brake and lateral, and then you really fill in this whole area right here. So that's reasonably good for a first, he's proficient driver and all that. But let's continue. So that's okay. Let's go. Now, the next part I see is the toilet bowl. Okay, he's on and off the gas, but he's not really getting much gas. But look at where his full gas point is. His full gas point is way at the end. His full gas point should be at more closer to the apex of that corner. So again, I think, first run and all that. So I expect this, as the day goes on, to improve right there. Let's continue on. Going through the first chicane. Now, the one thing I would also want to point out here, we can go look at this one. So this is how he's applying the brake. I told Ryan that this car has really great ABS, and you can stab the brakes. So and you won't lock up a tire. You won't. It's a really good ABS system. In fact, I think it's actually a Bosch Motorsports, because the hardware looks exactly the same. But anyways, so this should go more vertical and then trail off, kind of like how this throttle plot is. That's what you really want to maximize this area right here. But let's continue going on. Live education, so this time is going to be off. Okay, so going through this section here, he's hitting good lateral G's. Other than this, he's entering it, so you're going up a hill here, so you definitely want to brake over here as you're entering it and then accelerate out, and he's braking as he's exiting the chicane. So I want to move that input, slow in, fast out and all that, especially when you're going up a hill, because you look at the lateral G, or the longitudinal G. I think he's thinking he's going to go off here, so he's braking here, and it doesn't even go positive until past that cone. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully he can, as the day goes on, he will be better for that. So let's look at the Z chicane. Again, this could be spiked a little bit more, but he did a nice job trailing the brake off as he's entering the Z chicane. You can see the chicane. So nice job trail braking there, and you can here. I'm gonna clean this G plot a little bit up. Oops. Okay, so you can see that the steering input, you can see the trail braking, and you can see how this is filling. He got in, but I think it was a little bit of a mismatch in timing for this part right here. But again, first run, first time in the car, so still good. Okay, so let's continue on. So let's look at the asphalt portion. So come around the corner, asphalt portion. It's full gas, so that's good. You know, you can see full gas. So let's go look at the concrete section now. So he's braking before the concrete, or as he's crossing over to the concrete, and turning in. Let's see here. Is this? Okay, so it's basically going straight, adding lateral, and then feeding in a little bit more lateral to get. He's entering his curve and then tightening up the curve because the lateral is going up, and then starting up, but the thing is, I don't think this brake had to be this high. I think you can go in much higher because look at the speed. It breaks down and then he's accelerating through. So if you look at where that point is and that point is, and from there to there is basically a straight line in the course, he did not need to do this brake. He could have flown in and maybe just trail braked a little bit. Okay, so that'd be another input for the second run. Okay, so let's nice middle chicane, so he's coming in, tightening up. This one is a nice middle apex turn. See how nice, and then he's trying. So when you see these bumps like this, here, let me turn off there. See with these bumps, that is the suspension bushings compressing and releasing, compressing and releasing. So that's fine. And now let's look at where his braking is. Okay, so he does a big brake, but doesn't really trail off at all. He just, that's what I want to see. I want to see a vertical line like that. But okay, so let's look at corner entry of this area. So because he didn't trail off this brake, it brakes, and then kind of goes vertical because he jumped off the brakes. We want him to ease off the brakes, so this line doesn't go vertical like this, it goes out. So all this area is missed opportunity of corner entry. Okay, so let's continue going on. But just looking at that corner, just for looking at the corner, it's pretty good. I think the chassis, when he jumped off the brakes like that, look at the lateral G's. The chassis did a jerk kind of thing. That's why that's right there, because he jumped off the brakes. Also, he got jammed on the gas. I think he knew he overbroke, and so he pumped the gas a little bit to set his speed. So I think he knew what he did. But anyways, that jumping on the gas right there is a classic. I overbroke for the corner. Okay, so now going the end. So did a nice job going up the hill. Stabbed the brakes a little bit just to set his speed, and he did get onto that really nice setup for this. That's just knowing the course. And remember I was saying about the chassis bushings binding and then releasing, binding, releasing. They do again right here. You can see it. Okay. Did well there. And let's look at the end here. That's a really odd brake application, but again, first run, first time in the car. And then coming around, nice job. Got on the gas right after the, well, yeah, did fine. That's good. Okay, so that's the run. And that's some education, more in depth than I would do between runs. In between runs, I would basically just looking at this map and seeing where I'm braking, where I'm getting on the gas, and then pretty much that's it on the first run because I have nothing else to reference. I might look at corner entries and the GG plot to see if I could clean that up. But that's about it. And looking at line because that's the video. That's all I would do in the first run for data analysis during the event. Okay, the end of this video.